What's going on, Raider Nation? It's Raider Gunner, man, and this is the Raider Critique. Now, I know I told everybody that I was going to do a video tonight, and I said that my co-host would be here. Well, man, I am very tired. I did not have the chance to go up to where we normally would record the video at, so I'm going to do the post-game review for the Bengals all by myself. Oregon poop. This one's for you, man. Let's go ahead and get this episode started. So here we are, Raider Nation. We have beaten the Bengals 17-10. And yeah, here I am, man. I'm all by myself. I actually missed my fellow host, man, my fellow brothers, Day Walker and Scream. But I know that I told you guys that I would do this, so here I am, man, back in the original studio, coming at you guys with a post-game review. So we beat the Bengals 17-10. The score was pretty close to what I proclaimed it would be. I said 21-17, basically because I knew our defense was going to let them stay in it the whole time. You know, and of course, the team trying to give us a cardiac arrest, well, they did not disappoint. So let's go ahead and go over the stats, man. And I've got them right here. Derek Carr went 25 of 29 for 292 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, where he basically looked the receiver down the whole time. And the safety, or I believe the third corner, read him the whole way and jumped out in front. This is the first interception that he's thrown in about 5 weeks. Josh Jacobs, for rushing, 23 carries for 112 yards, 4.9 average. He eclipsed the century mark once more, basically solidifying that he should definitely be in the talks of Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now, we had Alec Ingold with 1 carry for 3 yards. That was on a 4th down, I believe, and he did get the first down for us. Derek Carr ran 5 times for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. Real good play right there when he scored that touchdown for us. I'm just glad that he did not jump out with 1 hand, and he did it with 2 hands this time, which it sounds like he's listening to us. Jalen Richard, 2 carries. He didn't get a single yard. DeAndre Washington had 2 carries for -1 yard, and Darren Waller had 1 rush for -2 yards. Receiving, our number 1 leading receiver was Tyrell Williams, 4 receptions for 82 yards. Darren Waller was right behind him, 5 receptions for 78 yards. Hunter Renfrow also got into the mix, 5 receptions for 66 yards. Zay Jones actually showed up, 3 receptions for 25 yards. DeAndre Washington, he might not have been able to run the ball, but we were able to throw the ball to him. 2 receptions for 14 yards. Josh Jacobs, 3 for 12. Foster Moreau, 2 receptions, 8 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Richard, 1 reception, 7 yards. Now, let's talk about this fumble that Josh Jacobs had. He was fighting for extra yards on that play. He was trying to get the first down. He was looking pretty mint until he dropped the ball. Now, hey, it does happen. Sometimes turnovers will reap their ugly face. You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. At least we didn't lose this game, but this is basically, this could have definitely lost it for us. We have got to limit the turnovers. Now, Maurice Hurst, he had a fumble recovery, and Max Crosby, we're going to be talking more about him in the podcast. He had a forced fumble. Now, the only interception that we got came from Trayvon Mullen. He was the guy that I actually had rated for player of the game, but then again, when we created pass rush the way that we did, like my Raider brothers actually brought to me, Raider MC Square, he might not have got that interception without the pass rush that we were given. So, let's go ahead and go to defense. Our newly acquired safety, DJ Swearinger, led the way, man, with 5 tackles, 2 assists. Trayvon Mullen had 5 tackles. Curtis Riley had 4 tackles. Eric Harris had 4 tackles. Max Crosby, here's the big one, buddy. 4 tackles, 4 sacks, 3 for a loss, which this dude's definitely solidifying himself in the talks as Defensive Player Rookie of the Year. Then we had Tahir Whitehead, who was absolutely, I would say, pretty stellar at the middle linebacker position due to that this is not normally his position that he plays, man. He had 3 tackles, 1 assist, and one of those tackles was for a loss. Nicholas Morrow had 3 tackles. Josh Morrow had 2 tackles, 1 assist. Nevin Lawson had 2 tackles. Dion Jordan came in. This was his first game as a Raider. Everybody remembers him more than like I remember him as a Dolphin. You know what I mean? And I actually wanted him. Well, now he's a Raider, dude, and he got a sack. Maurice Hurst had 1 tackle. Cleveland Farrell had 1 tackle and a batted ball at the line of scrimmage, which was awesome, man. He's really starting to come into his own. A lot of people hate on Cleveland Farrell. He was our first round, basically our first overall pick in the first round. And, he is starting to produce. Now, he's not getting all the sacks that everybody thought that he was going to get or that everybody expected. But he is doing enough to be a part of this team going forward. And I think he's going to do nothing but get better as time goes on. Kyle Wilbur didn't have anything. Jonathan Hankins had 1 assist. And they said Daniel Carlson didn't have any tackles, but I remember him making a tackle on special teams. He did all right, man. At least he was there to actually at least be a part of the play, And then Foster Morale didn't have a single tackle either, at least from the look of these stats. Now, Daniel Carlson went 1 of 1 on field goals. It was 20 yards. 2 for 2 on extra points. So at least he didn't miss any this game. A.J. Cole had 5 punts. 5 punts, man. And this is the reason why he had 5 punts is because, let's just be real. Our offense went stagnant in the second half, dude. We only scored 3 points in the second half. But his average was 43.2. And he had 1 inside the 20. His longest punt of the day was 50 yards. Trevor Davis had 1 return. Didn't get a single solitary yard on his return. So let's just talk a little bit about this. And we can go ahead and actually move over to the Bengals stats just to kind of show how crappy they did. Their quarterback, Ryan Finley, 13 completions out of 31 attempts, 115 yards with 1 interception. That's not very good stats. But we did give up a lot of rushing yards this game. I said that we needed to isolate Joe Mixon. Well, we didn't do that at all. He had 15 carries for 86 yards, averaging 5.7 yards a carry. All right, Ryan Finley had 3 carries for 47 yards, averaging 15.7 yards a carry. Giovanni Bernard, 3 carries for 30 yards, averaging 10 yards a carry. And then Tyler Boyd had 1 for 10. Receiving, Auden Tate, 4 receptions, 56 yards. And, hey, I don't normally say this, but, hey, I hope that the injury that he suffered was not too severe. When he got lit up there in the fourth quarter, man, I'm hoping that's not a neck injury. I'm glad he was able to give the thumbs up. I don't know if there's been any word on him or not on how, it went down. I mean, we'll find out in the coming weeks. Tyler Eifert, we actually shut down their tight ends. 3 receptions for 21 yards. Joe Mixon had 1 reception for 17 yards. Giovanni Bernard, 1 reception for 16 yards. C.J. Uzomah, 2 receptions, 5 yards. Alec Erickson had a reception for no yards. Tyler Boyd had a reception for no yards. And then Damian Willis didn't have a single solitary reception on 1 target. Now, Ryan Finley, of course, that forced fumble was by Max Crosby. And that was on a sack, basically. He dropped the ball, and that's when we got the ball back. You know what I mean? Their interceptions, the dude who intercepted the ball was Jesse Bates. 1 interception for 4 yards, and he also had a pass deflection. Their defense, well, I don't think I really need to go over their defense. I mean, let's just be real. Who cares about the Bengals? Let's talk about Max Crosby. Max Crosby had 4 sacks in 1 game. This dude is the major reason why Trayvon Mullen got an interception. Straight up, man. This guy, we need to take our hats off to this man because this man is playing extremely well. And by the time he got these 4 sacks this game, he has surpassed Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack only has 5.5 sacks on the year. Mason Crosby almost got that in 1 game. So, even I'm guilty of the doom and gloom when we lost Khalil Mack. But really the future is looking bright with Benson Mayowa on the other side, who is also he's ripping up shop himself. We didn't mention him at all in this game here, but Max Crosby is definitely filling the shoes of Khalil Mack, if not then some. As far as I'm concerned, he's our version of J.J. Watt, man. The dude is a beast. And anybody who was sitting there saying before that they don't know if he is a 3-down defensive end, I think this proves it. This dude needs to be in every single play he possibly can as long as he's got the energy and the endurance to do so. He is definitely a 3-down defensive end. I wouldn't replace him with anybody else. So, my hat's off to you there, old Mad Max Crosby. You are a stellar Raider, and I cannot wait to watch you play the Jets next week, man. It's going to be awesome. I'm hoping that you get 3 more sacks next week. It would be absolutely spectacular and incredible if you were to get in double digits in sacks this season. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to wind up doing it, man. Oh, there went my coin. My bad. So let's go ahead and switch on over here to the Shield because I do want to talk about something else. The Monday night game that we had the audacity to have to watch. The Kansas City Chiefs against the Los Angeles Chokers. This is where the critique part comes in. And I'm not even going to critique the team. I'm not going to critique the Raiders. I'm going to critique the Chokers. I hate you Chokers. I do. When we need you to lose, sometimes you win. When we need you to win, you fucking lose. I mean, we needed y'all to at least come up and Philip Crimea Rivers, you could have played better. You looked even worse this game than you looked against us last week. So, I mean, even though as enjoyable it is to watch you guys lose every time you play somebody who's better than you, we really needed y'all to step up this week. And, well, you guys are disappointments like you always are. You couldn't even beat the Chiefs, which, hey, I can't say much. We haven't beat the Chiefs yet either, not this season. But I have a pretty good feeling that we will. Let's just be real about it. Let's talk about the schedule here. There's only one team that we have to play with a winning record. They even said it on Monday Night Football tonight. The ease of record definitely favors the Raiders. We have one team with a winning record. We have the Jets to play. We've got the Jaguars to play. We've got the Chiefs to play. We've got the Titans to play. We've got the Broncos to play and the Chargers to play. That's what we have left, and it's not really in that specific order. Now, I've been calling 12-4 since the offseason. Anybody who watches this channel, anybody who has watched me over the years knows I was calling 12-4 when we signed the Clown. When we signed the Clown, I was calling 12-4, and then when we lost the Clown, I was kind of skeptical. I didn't know on whether we were going to be any good or not after we lost our number one wide receiver. But we've had some guys step up here, man. Darren Waller is a beast. Tyrell Williams is a beast. You know what I mean? Zay Jones is decent. Hunter Renfrow is coming into his own. We have wide receivers, plug-and-play wide receivers, that are doing an excellent job for Derek Carr. Now, Derek Carr is dumping the ball off an awful lot. I mean, he is only averaging roughly about in between 7 and 7.8 yards a pass. We're going to have to do a little bit better than that. He does sling the ball down the field and, at certain aspects and certain times, but that's really not how John Gruden's offense works. John Gruden's offense is little quick slants, West Coast offense, little dump-off passes, throw to the running back, this and that. But he's doing an excellent job given with what he has been given. So I'm not going to hate on Derek Carr, man. I'm not. A lot of these haters out there, a lot of these people out there want to hate on Derek Carr because he is throwing nothing but short passes. I know a few of them myself. They're all, we got a few. They're in every chapter in every booster club. There's at least one. There's at least one. But, let's just be real. He's doing what it takes to get the job done. And having a back like Josh Jacobs, we have not had a back like Josh Jacobs since Tyrone Wheatley. A dude who can actually be shifty and he can actually lay people out. He's not afraid of contact and he's shifty just like Charlie Gardner was. He is the best of both worlds when it comes to Raiders running backs. As far as I'm concerned, he could be one of the greatest Raiders running backs of all time if he keeps this up. He's already over 900 yards rushing, and it's only week 11. It's only week 11, y'all. And he's already over 900 yards. This dude is definitely going to eclipse the century mark if he keeps playing the way he's playing. Which is why I say, absolutely, this dude needs to be Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year. And when it comes to Max Crosby's got to be Defensive Player of the Year. No joke, Defensive Rookie of the Year. These guys right here, nobody expected Max Crosby to jump on the scene the way he did and play the way he's been playing. I bet there's not a single person out there in the Raider Nation or anywhere else for that matter who called this. So this is a pleasant surprise. A huge surprise. And man, am I glad we got him. And what round did we pick him up in? It wasn't the first round. You know what I mean? It wasn't the first round. So, for real, we should all be happy with what we are seeing. Now, I would go into a pregame review for our next week's game against the Jets. But I'm going to start going back to doing 2 videos a week because I get tired of making all these backdrops and, trying to do them all at once, doing a post-game review for the prior week and a pre-game review for the next week. So, basically, this is how I'm going to start doing it from now on. Your post-game reviews will roughly come around Monday or Tuesday of the week. Hopefully next week I'll have my other brothers with me. You know what I mean? Because I definitely, man, I miss them, man. I like having people to bounce things off of. A lot of people, there's a few people out there say they would rather have me do this by myself. Well, I've done it by myself for quite a few years, and to be honest with you, it's quite boring. It's a lot better to have my Raider brothers with me, because at least I can get their input and their aspect on everything as well, too. Because remember, just like I've always said before, man, change my mind. Please change my mind, because most of the time I'm negative, but I have nothing to be negative about. Except for maybe the Chargers losing to the Chiefs when we needed them to win. So, and that's not even about our team. Yeah. Bottom line is, guys, is that we do have the Jets next week, and I'm coming up on the 10-year anniversary of this channel. This channel has been out since 2009. Now, I don't have anything planned out yet. I don't know if I will have anything planned out for the anniversary. That is November 24th. I do know that I'm going to try to get the pregame versus the Jets Week 12 out on Saturday, which that will be the 23rd. Because I don't really like doing a podcast on game day. I'm too focused into getting myself readied up and getting ready to get my happy ass to Pluckers to make sure, or wherever we happen to be going that week, you know what I mean? Get to either the Raider brothers' house or the Raider sisters' house or at Pluckers, to where I can get everything all situated. Because now I am putting myself more into the Oakland Raiders Soldiers Booster Club. I'm helping out a lot more. I'm not just showing up to the games. I'm actually basically your communications, and I'm the one who's basically setting everything up, and I'm giving a Raider brother a little bit of a break to where he can spend time with his family and just kind of get his mind right, man. So that's what I'm doing now, and to be honest with you, I actually greatly appreciate the opportunity to do so. The first motive of operation is to start collecting donations for the homeless shelters and the battered women's shelters, and also for the food banks and the soup kitchens, because we are coming about that time of year to where it's Thanksgiving. It's also become really, really cold down here in Texas. It's up and down, but when it's getting cold, it's getting cold. So a lot of these people need blankets, they need clothes, they need things like that, and I definitely want to help our community just like our booster club does. We're just like the rest of the Raider Nation, man. We care. We so care. And we just want to kind of make everything better for our community. And, why not sit here in the silver and black and do this in Dallas country, man? Just to kind of show everybody else up that, look, we're here, baby. We are here, and we're here to help out. When you guys are sitting around doing nothing but sitting there clapping, looking like Jason Garrett, Sir fucking Clappy Hands, over here cheering on your team, we're out here actually helping the community. Now, I ain't trying to be smug about that or nothing, but hey, I'm just trying to tell all y'all other booster clubs, when it comes to y'all other teams, y'all need to step up your game. Because we here and we representing. Raider Nation ain't just a bunch of fans for a football team. We are a family, and we care. So anyway, this has been your post-game review for the Cincinnati Bengals for Week 11, right here on the Raider Critique. I'm Raider Gunner, man. We will see y'all on Saturday for the pregame against the Jets. And remember, just like I've always said, baby, it's Raider Nation for life.